Hey, Kristyglass here with a finished object for you. I'm gonna be honest. My knitting making journey has changed over the past couple of years since I started my YouTube channel. I feel like I'm trying to be so in touch with the whole knitting industry that I get all of these ideas and I want to make all of these things, and so my queue of what I want to make is always so long and crazy, and there's a sense of urgency that's always positive, but I always know what I want to make next. And I do not relate at all to people who say, I've lost my knitting mojo, or I don't know what to knit next. I don't get that feeling. The only time I felt that was when I was pregnant with my last baby, and I almost felt like I wanted to throw up when I passed the wool basket, but it's just, pregnancy is weird like that. So I can relate to a feeling of discontent with it, but right now I just always have an idea of what I want to knit next, and I wish I could knit like 8 different arms at the same time. The reason I'm sharing that is because I was recently gifted yarn, and I love being gifted yarn, but then sometimes there's a little bit of pressure of, ooh, I need to knit with this, and sometimes I don't know what I want to knit with it, whatever. But I was given this gift of yarn and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. But then I thought, I know exactly what this needs to be. It turns out I think a lot of people feel the same way about what it needs to be. But I told you that beginning story because I feel like it's the perfect thing to buy if you've lost some mojo, because it's a piece of yarn that is a party. It just is a party, and it is exciting and it's fun, and you don't exactly know. You can see what you have, but you're not exactly sure, and then it's this other thing. So without further ado, what I'm speaking of is the big KAHUNA from Chelsea Yarns. So Christina, who owns Chelsea Yarns, she has a spouse named Tad, but he goes by Red Bank Mike, and he makes these KAHUNAs, and I was the recipient of a KAHUNA, and this is what it looked like in its original form. It is 700 yards of DK weight, hand-dyed by Christina herself. She's been hand-dyeing yarn for her shop for years now. She's very talented at it, and Red Bank Mike just wanted to be part of the fun, and so he started making these, what he calls big KAHUNAs, and he's such a lovely man, really fun to talk to, has wonderful energy, and I love knowing the story behind the big KAHUNA that Christina gifted me, and it made it even more of a party. So what he does is he splits up skeins of yarn and he puts them all on one skein so that you have one continuous piece of yarn, because he's put in this very tight knot. I'm guessing it's like a surgeon's knot of some kind. You almost can't even see it, and it feels safe. At first I'm like, uh-oh, there's a knot coming up. Do I feel like this is gonna stay? Yes, I do. I feel like it's gonna stay, and it did stay. So I worked from the outside in. You could work from the inside out. I purchased the basic triangular granny shawl by Kate Sinclair, and I guess I probably could have figured it out because I'm a pretty experienced granny squarer, but I always like a pattern just as a reference so I don't waste my time. I used the entire 700 yards except for this little amount that I had left. I could have incorporated it into the tassels, but I wasn't sure how much yarn I had, so I just made the tassels and called it good. And this is it. Isn't it beautiful? I have to say, the KAHUNA from the outside looks kind of like a basic rainbow ball of goodness, but when you dig into it and get going, you realize that all of this hand-dyed mastery it's just so fun to look at. In fact, I was crocheting on this as I waited for a movie to start, and I had to stop myself because I was missing out on the fun of seeing the color changes and the dye. So I think from far away, and even probably from far away on this, it does look like kind of just a rainbowy shawl situation, but up close, the yarn is just so beautiful, and it was such a joy to work with. I did this in a weekend. I mean, I started it one day, I finished it basically 2 days later. It was very fun. Let me see if I can get closer up to show you. Look at how beautiful this yarn is. The base itself was really nice to work with. and the color combination is just up to Red Bank Mike, and I think he did a great job. I imagine this working as a shawl, but I also really wanted to get it done for the summer because I think it could make a great cover-up. Because really, I'm done wearing a swimsuit and showing off all the parts. Like, I'm done with that. So look how nice this will be as a little cover-up, you know? I think it could make a nice baby blanket. You might want 2 kahunas if you do a baby blanket. I mean, this is a nice size. This was all 700 yards. I think he also makes some fingering weight kahunas as well. So you'll have to see what people make with that. I am very pleased with this. I would recommend it for like a weekend road trip. Just pack your kahuna and a crochet hook. You're ready to go. You don't even need to think about it. It's just a party in your project bag. So thank you so much for that beautiful gift, Chelsea Yarns. I really loved making this, and I am looking forward to giving it some good use this summer. And I'm starting to dream about what other things I could make with the kahuna. What did you make? Let me know. See you next time on Kristy Glass Knits. Bye.